You're marking your premiere tonight. You're the first time in Romania, and we are very happy for it. I'm just curious, what other premieres are you planning for the next period, in terms of music, especially?
Well, yeah, this is our first time ever playing here in this country, and our drive here was beautiful. I mean, what an amazing introduction to your country as well. And it's not very often, and we're blessed to be able to say this. Not very often do we play somewhere for the first time, so we're very excited. Probably a little bit more so than any other time this past month. So this is our last show of our tour out here and doing all this European festivals, and we get to go home tomorrow. And so I kind of view this show as a final send-off to a very memorable month, and it's an honor to end it here.
Cool. Tyler, this question is for you, because I know that you've been touring with your family. I don't know if they join you the whole tour, but anyway, part of the tour you've been with your family. How challenging is that, to be with your daughter, to be a dad and an artist on the same time?
Yeah, so, when Josh and I started out, we didn't have families. We weren't married to anyone, and no one, we were on our own. We could do whatever we wanted, and then we grew up, and we got married to different people. And I actually have 2 kids now, 2 daughters, a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old, and it was a bit of a challenge because I knew that I didn't want to be gone from them for a month. That was not an option, so we rented out a house over in London, and that's where they're staying. And I'm kind of getting back to them as often as I can, which has been really fun. I've been able to explain to my 2-year-old, Daddy has to go to work. And then she says, well, don't you sing? And yes, singing is working, but I get that doesn't make sense. Most of the world doesn't understand that we sing and make money, but it's been a blessing, and it's been really fun to come back to them every 2 or 3 days. Daddy's home. I don't know. It's been a really memorable month for me.
Does it mark you as an artist? I mean, has it changed anything?
Yeah, I think we're probably. I know for me, I'm less cool now that I'm a dad.
I don't think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay. Now I really want Josh to say something. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Sorry, I'm the lead singer. I'm usually rolling with the microphone. He's the drummer.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, but we love him. Okay, you've been carrying Blurryface legacy, let's call it like that, for the last years. I mean, such great albums, so many records and after records, and the best rock album of the decade. I think it was overwhelming. Do you feel the pressure to top all these records?
You're asking me?
Both of you. Who feels the pressure?
Yes and no. I think that we learn a lot, and so and I think, like you said, being able to play shows, I think that's where we really learn. And so we recorded and we put out Blurryface, and we toured a lot, and we played a lot of shows on that album, and really collected a lot of data on what it is that we want our show to look like. And so I think that we're constantly in pursuit of what a perfect show can be, and what type of songs need to fit within that show. And so I think that's really how we kind of approach writing and making albums. And so yeah, I mean, I think that the goal and desire as an artist is to get better, and put out better albums. I think they're just going to be different as well. But we love that album, and we love the other 2 that we've made since then, and I think we'll love the next one as well.
And so will we. I'm pretty sure. Okay, because you were speaking about the perfect show, I'm really curious, and this is personal curiosity, who comes with the crazy ideas? Because I've seen you climbing on the sound tower, I've seen you pounding on drums, I've seen you doing really crazy stuff in your shows. Who comes with the idea?
We both kind of come up with stuff. I mean, when Josh and I first met, I remember we bonded over listening to different music, watching different shows, and going to some concerts. And we always treated it very seriously. We were critical of other music. We tried to learn from other artists as much as we could. And I remember a lot of shows we would go to, and we would talk. What would we do different? You know, what do we think we would change? And so we're always trying to. I believe that every artist and every band has the optimal set list available to them. It's just they have to find it. Inside of their own songs, inside of their albums, there's some combination with all of the correct transitions and the flow and the ups and downs. Every artist, every band has their optimal set list, and it's their job to find it. And we're still searching for it. We continue to make changes to our shows, trying to get that transition to be right. But then there's certain aspects of our show that have become a mainstay just because we feel like we got that part right. Now we just got to get every other part right. And every show we learn something. Even tonight we'll learn something. And after the show, I don't know what people expect when you come off of a stage that large, like what it is that we would do. We don't get off stage and celebrate. We get off stage, we huddle together with our crew, and we talk about what we could do better, what went wrong, what could be fixed for next time. And even though this is the last show of this tour, we'll still have that meeting. And so that's just a part of the pursuit of the perfect show.
You're very serious about it. Okay,
Yes.
now you're traveling miles, thousands of miles as artists, and with thousands of people following you. But do you remember the first concert that you've been traveling just to see a favorite band?
We get to see a lot of bands now that we're traveling ourselves. You know, being at a festival, it's one of our favorite shows just because, you know, when we're not doing press conferences, I could be going and watching whatever it is that I could hear off in the distance. So we do catch a lot of shows when we travel. You know, being from Columbus, Ohio, there wasn't a ton of shows that would come through. And I don't know, driving through the countryside today, I actually asked Josh, I was like, you know, if you were a band, if you wanted to become a band and you lived here, you could still do it. You know, and I know that there's no limit to it because one, the internet helps, but two, good ideas rise to the top. And I think that, you know, coming from us, we didn't have any connection with anyone in the industry. We didn't, you know, ship our song off to someone who gave us our big break. We slowly built that credibility and that fan base from really just nothing. And so we realized that our story is something that could really inspire people who want to just get up and start creating themselves.